Christmas, come on. Happy Christmas, everybody! Cheers! Oh, bubbles. Bubbles first thing in the morning is not my usual lifestyle, but oh my goodness, what a lovely treat. Now, these were a gift, before I talk about anything else, and a little card came with them. The bottle. A really lovely little card, just referencing the videos and the fun of videos over the year, and it's a sort of a thank you. But it didn't have a name with it, so I can't thank whoever you are in person, but thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I don't drink champagne these days anymore because of money, but Moët and Dom Perignon, they're my two favourites, so it's a real treat for me today. And I've got my mince pie, and I'm so giddy. I'm just so giddy. I don't know why. I mean, it's just Christmas, isn't it? Oh, it's been a lovely few days leading up to Christmas. I've sort of been reflecting on this in the last couple of days, how I just love the cheer at this time of year. Whatever Christmas means to you, just that sort of cheer that is just sort of in everybody. So in the last few days, sort of out and about in my high street, I've popped into a couple of shops with some extra bits and bobs, some special cheese for Christmas, that sort of thing. And everyone is sort of feeling so, or is putting out so much sort of positive energy. People are saying, morning, happy Christmas, have a great time. It's just so lovely. And I was thinking about this, it kind of reminds me of when I was a kid, and I'm sure some of you will remember this too. Oh, hang on, let's have another glug. When I was really little, the shops would close sometimes the day before Christmas Eve. Generally they'd close on Christmas Eve at about lunchtime, and they would stay closed until the day after New Year's Day. So they'd stay closed until the 2nd or 3rd of January. That was it, no shops. So I do remember as a kid, we'd always stay with my aunt and uncle during Christmas, because my uncle's a minister, so he works Christmas Day. And gradually over a few days, the whole family would arrive, like the whole family, and we'd have a little shopping trip for last minute bits and bobs, which would usually involve something like, 12 loaves of bread, 46 gallons of milk. Yeah, because if you ran out of something, there were no shops open. So I remember that clearly, the milk being stored outside to keep it cold, because there was no room in the fridge, because the fridge was full of all sorts of, all the veggies and the meats and, well, I don't know about that, but yeah, so, but I liked that as well, because it made the world just seem a little bit quieter over that time. And I think that's one of the reasons I get excited about Christmas, even now, is I love that quietness. I love it when you go out on Christmas Day afternoon. There's so little traffic around. There's a bit of traffic, people off to go and have lunch with family members or on their way home from lunch or what have you. But generally it's really quiet. And, you know, there'll be a few families out and about, there'll be kids out on their brand new bicycles or scooters or whatever it is they've had for Christmas. I'm listening out there now. There's just hardly a sound in the street outside. It's lovely. Apart from, and you might hear it, the occasional coo, because there's a couple of pigeons making out on my roof this morning. Good luck. So, yeah, so I really like that quiet. And it got me thinking about how, you know, I think a lot of us feel pressured to do the perfect Christmas. But one thing I've learned as I've got older, and I think probably a bit stronger in my convictions or more able to speak up for myself, is that it should be whatever the day means to you and whatever you want it to be. So for some folk, that will mean that it's primarily a religious festival. So you'll be off to church this morning and you may be back off to church later in the afternoon. Some of you may have been to midnight mass last night. For others, it's not so much about that, but it's kind of an excuse to just have the whole family together. Perhaps family members who live further apart and you don't see so often. What a wonderful thing to do one day a year. What a wonderful excuse to just say, let's all get together. For me, well, for years I didn't really have Christmas Day because of working, and I absolutely loved to work on Christmas Day, so that wasn't an issue. But for the last couple of years, spending it on my own, that's actually been really, really lovely and absolutely fine by me. For me, it's more of it's a special day that I feel like I don't need an excuse to just have a whole day of reflecting and thinking and enjoying, and it's the one day of the year when I can indulge in thinking about my friends, talking to my friends, just thinking about the people who are important to me. So, however you're doing your Christmas today, excuse me, I've got an itchy schnozzle and there's not a cat in sight. However you're going to do your Christmas day today, enjoy it. Don't feel any pressure. Do whatever you want to do. Now, before we go any further, my head's looking a bit bare, so I think it's time for a cracker, isn't it? Yay! I found some more crackers this year, yay! I actually managed to find these in a charity shop. Can't believe it, brilliant. So there's enough for us today, and then I'll take a couple when I visit with my great aunt in a couple of days, and we can have a little Christmas session too. So, having practiced last year, let's see if I can do it again this year. Oh, that was a good bang. Brilliant, let's get the hat, let's get the motto. Come on, fiddle, fiddle, fiddle. Oh, I've got a little... Don't tell me there's no motto. Oh yeah, there it is. You can't have a cracker without a motto. Right, I don't get this. What do you call a horse in his pyjamas? A zebra. A zebra, I don't get that at all. I do not get that at all. Answers below, please. No, don't flood me with answers as to what makes that joke funny, because I don't think it is. Right, let's get this teeny tiny little hat on. There we go, how's that looking? Is red my colour? Oh, it's coordinating with my pink top. Here's yours. Oh, it's a good bang. Oh, you've got a red one too. Right, I'm going to read you your motto first. Oh, look at your lovely little gift. You got some pretty little stickers. Aren't they lovely? That's the sort of thing you could just put on the back of an envelope to seal it with an extra little bit of love. Yay! So, here we go. Here's your joke, motto. Why did the bull wear a bell? Because his horn didn't work. I know. The cheesier the better. Right. Get your hair straight, your hat's coming on now. Here we go. Upla. There we go. You look absolutely magnificent. Chin chin. So just thinking back to I think I'm going to have to blow my nose, I'm so sorry. It's a Christmas blow, even on Christmas Day I need a blow. Because something is tickling it. Maybe it's the bubbles. I was thinking back to Christmases as a kid and thinking what were our traditions. There's one which I'm sure many of you will relate to, and I'll have to explain it a bit for any of our overseas friends. It was the Christmas Radio Times. Oh, the Christmas Radio Times, what a treat. So for those of you outside of the UK, the Radio Times is a weekly sort of magazine, and it's basically all the listings for TV and the radio, so all the different schedules, all the different programmes. Comes out once a week, and I think throughout the rest of the year, I don't think I ever bothered looking at the Radio Times. We weren't massive TV watchers as kids, but the Christmas Radio Times is a double issue. It's a fortnight. It's that thick. It's fantastic. And going back to when I was little, this is when we only had 4 TV channels. 4 channels, can you imagine it? We didn't even, I'm just trying to think, I don't think in those days there were even such a thing as video rental shops. Not till I was kind of in my late teens did video players start to be seen around. I had one friend who was quite, I wouldn't say posh, but they were fairly well to do, and they got a VCR, they got a video player. It seemed like that was the bee's knees. So going back to the TV, we had these 4 channels, that was it. We didn't rent videos, we didn't have any of this kind of the internet to look at films, what have you. So it was really exciting every Christmas to see what film was going to get its TV premiere. Because as kids, we didn't have the money to go to the cinema. So all these cinema releases, there was no chance of us watching them unless one of the stations bought it for Christmas. Oh, absolutely fabulous. Absolutely. So exciting. You know, you'd have things like, there would have been a Superman film come out, for example, and that might get its premiere on TV at Christmas. Or the latest James Bond, that was a big thing. But of course, this great, chunky, thick magazine of possibilities, the family would fight over it. I mean, not literally, but oh, you just wanted to get your hands on the Christmas Radio Times and have a look through and oh, what can I watch? What exciting new thing is going to be shown this Christmas? But then, of course, there was always the problem of the scheduling. Between BBC One and ITV, they were the 2 main channels. And in those days, I think they were fiercely competitive. I think they try and schedule things a bit better these days to not clash. But the nightmare, imagine it, the nightmare was 2 really great films being shown at the same time. What do you do? And that was in the days when families had 1 TV. It seems hard to imagine now, doesn't it? I mean, I think, gosh, don't most homes have more than 1 TV now? I don't, but there we go. So yeah, remembering the squabbles, A, to get our hands on the Christmas Radio Times, and B, the arguments about which channel would be watched at a certain time. I loved the TV Christmas schedules though, because you'd always get things that, oh, this is gorgeous, by the way. Thank you. Yeah, you'd always get things on the telly which you wouldn't see during the rest of the year. So as a kid, I loved ballet and opera. And these things were never on TV. And there was no way on earth my mum could afford to pay for me to have a ticket to go to the theatre to watch them. So it was always such a treat. Let's see now, it would be something like Boxing Day on BBC Two. You'd see a full ballet or a full opera. Oh, heaven, 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 heaven. I have absolutely zero idea what's happening on the telly over the next few days. I haven't looked. I think the excitement from way back then, I don't have that same excitement now, because obviously things are so much more accessible now. We have a gazillion channels, we can look at stuff online, download, whatever. But yeah, it's just lovely to remember that excitement when we were really little. Oh, my tongue's going la la la. I better slow down with this, hadn't I? And to follow this, I've got some leftover Prosecco from a drink with a friend the other night. So yay, I'm going to be squiffy by noon. All my food for today is pretty much prepared already. I'm keeping it really, really simple because after eating I'm then going out to see friends. So I'll be having what am I doing? Oh, I'm having a gorgeous, yummy, scrummy cabbage pie with the luxury of puff pastry. So that's shop-bought puff pastry, naughty, but I don't care. And then with it, I'm going to have a whole selection of those lovely veggies I got harvested the other day. My one tiddly parsnip. Actually, after that shot, I did pull a couple more. They were even smaller. But they're all scrubbed and ready. I'm leaving them whole. So those, some of my little tiddly carrots, which are really, really tender. I had a couple of them raw and they were good. I've got some Brussels sprouts, and I'll make a mash that's a combination of potato and celeriac, and I might have a couple of roast spuds too. So with all the veg, I'll roast them, apart from the celeriac mash. I'm looking forward to that. Ooh. Who says a vegetarian Christmas needs to be meagre? I am going to be stuffing my boots. So I was also thinking, and this, I was thinking about this the other day. I don't know why it came into my head. Probably because this is also the sort of thing that used to be on telly. Quite often they'd show a pantomime, and what was that? I think I was watching some kind of clips show the other day, and I was looking at some bits of panto, and I was laughing my head off. It was really rubbish, but it was funny. And I was thinking, in the UK, I think there's probably not a single one of us who haven't experienced panto at some time in our lives. And then I was thinking, how on earth do you explain pantomime to someone who's not British, to someone who's never seen it? I keep saying panto. So for those of you, again, not from the UK, that's the abbreviated version of pantomime. It's a massive Christmas tradition in the UK to go to see the pantomime. Now it's aimed at kids, but quite often there's a lot of adult humour buried in there too, so there's something for mums and dads as well as the kids. They're usually, I've still got this itchy nose, sorry. They're usually based around fairy tales or children's stories, so things like Aladdin, Jack and the Beanstalk, Mother Goose, that sort of thing. But here's where panto is really hard to explain. The leading male part in pantomime, so for example in Peter Pan is the lead male character. It's always played by a girl, so the girl plays the boy. The older lady, I'm getting pinged. The older female character, usually the mother or the stepmother or that sort of thing, is always played by a man. And they're called the panto dame. So we have a long tradition of our old school comics playing the panto dame. So you've got girls playing boys, boys playing girls. You always have to have an animal of some description, whether it's a horse or a cow, and that's always two people in a costume. There are certain phrases, so, oh no he didn't, oh yes he did. So the character will come to the front of the stage and talk to the audience and say, you know, he has stolen my cow. And the audience have to reply, oh no he didn't. And then the character says, oh yes he did, and that goes backwards and forwards so many times. I mean, it sounds ridiculous now I'm trying to tell you. Another thing is, you have to, as the audience, when the baddie is behind, say I'm the main character, I'm the milkmaid and I'm a good character. If the baddie appears behind me, the audience has to shout out, it's a law, he's behind you. So then I make a big play of going, I don't see him, because he's moved over here. I don't see him. No, he's not. He's behind you. Oh, no, he's not. I don't see him. Again, it goes on forever and ever and ever. I mean, they're ridiculous. The most ridiculous shows ever, but it's all part of our Christmas, isn't it? So, cheers to pantomime. That's scrumdiddlyumptious. So, I think one of the other lovely things about Christmas is, you know, every family makes it their own. Everyone's got their own sort of little traditions or little in-jokes about, oh, do you remember Christmas 1977 when, you know, Dad forgot to get the turkey out of the freezer and we all had Christmas lunch with no turkey, and oh, it's just lovely. So I hope this year you're either making some new traditions or reviving some old ones, making new memories. And I want to say a heartfelt, just for a moment, that I know there's a bunch of you on your own this year. I know for some of you it's the first time you're on your own. Don't be scared. It's okay, you'll manage. And you're not on your own anyway, are you? Because I'm here. We're all here for each other. I know there's quite a few of us, myself included, who are having our first Christmas without someone we love. Not going to get joked up. You know, it's okay. It's okay to feel a bit sad today. It's okay to, you know, maybe have a couple of tears quietly. That's okay. Your tears just show how much you loved that person. So don't be ashamed of your tears. Let them happen. After a while, wipe the tears away and just think of all the wonderful memories you have of that person and celebrate them in some way. I've only lit one candle this year, but I've lit it for a very special man in my life who isn't here this Christmas, but who I'm thinking of and I'm smiling at. So let's not be down in the dumps. Let's acknowledge that our tears are just a sign of love, and that can be only a good thing. So cheers to all of them and to all of us. Cheers. I have to say, this is going down mightily finally. Oh dear. Can I even get through another 10 minutes? I've just got to have a quick little dab. I'm sorry. I get so emotional, but that's okay. You know, that it's all fine. Now, I've got all sorts of little packets and envelopes next to me, and I just want to, well, firstly, I want to say thank you to everybody who sent such lovely well wishes, not just now, but all through the year. My goodness, sometimes I'm quite articulate. This isn't just the bubbles. I think normally I'm quite articulate, but sometimes I just get lost for words. And I think my gratitude to you all for not just watching the videos, but for interacting so much with comments and ideas, and it's really hard to express how wonderful that is for me and how important that's become in my life. So I think I'd better just say thank you. Thank you for your continued support. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing, all that stuff. But also thank you because I'm going to get a little fistful of them now. I've had, what I've done over the last couple, I've had bits and bobs arriving, and I've already put a load of cards up, but some of them, as they came, I sensed there was something in there, so that maybe I should save it for Christmas Day. So I'm going to open these with you now. Oh, why don't you grab some of your presents too? Are you near your presents? I think if you're with your family, it may not be appropriate, but if you're on your own like me, go and grab them now and we'll pretend we're one big, mad, happy family together. Okay, so this is from Marie Baker. And oh, look at that, I'll read all these properly later, but look, there's a little plan for her garden for next year, I think, and the seeds she sent are, oh, this is great. This is a seed, this is from Real Seeds. You see, beautiful packet. This is a climbing bean, it's a French bean called Cherokee Trail of Tears, and I know about this bean. I'm not going to talk about it too much because it will make me cry. Look up Cherokee Trail of Tears. It's a really haunting story behind these seeds, so that will be an honour to grow. Marie, thank you so much. Oh my goodness, I've got a this is from Renee. I've got a feeling I'm going to be needing to find a bit more space in my garden this year, aren't I? Oh, beautiful. So Rennie makes her own cards. Oopla, I'm dropping things. Isn't that beautiful? Oh, it's got a little jingle bell on it too. Rennie, that's gorgeous. Again, I will save reading of it till later, but I just wanted to share the contents today. I've got some various dill. Oh, I love dill. Dill's beautiful. Dill works really, really well with brassicas. I've done a couple of videos in the past where I've done, the cabbage pie has dill in it. Brilliant. Now the thing with dill is you need to grow it away from fennel and I think parsley, because they're quite closely related. They're quite closely related and you don't want them cross-breeding. I think that's the case. I'm pretty sure it's dill and fennel. Brilliant, brilliant. I need a whole nother allotment. Now this one, oh my goodness. This is, oh yes, a little bar of chocolate. I love green and blacks. Organic chocolate, that's gorgeous. Who is this from? Oh, it's from Kate. Ah, Kate, this is Kate with the YouTube channel. I think it's the YouTube channel with my most favourite name. It's so evocative. The channel is called The Last Homely House East of the Sea. Oh my goodness, thank you, Kate. What's in it? Have you opened something yet? Have you opened one of yours? Oh, pretty, pretty, pretty. It's a little dangle. Oh, how lovely. It's, look at that little ceramic star. Isn't that pretty? You probably can't pick up. It's very slightly textured. Oh, that's lovely. One could either have that in one's tree, but I think, actually, that may end up being a lovely dangle in my shed, because I do like to decorate my shed. And I don't just mean for Christmas. I just generally like having nice things around because I spend so much time in there. Kate, thank you so, so much. Go and have a look. Oh, there we go on her card. Go and have a look at the last homely, I said lonely early, didn't I? The Last Homely House East of the Sea. What a great name. Thank you, my love. And then, anyway, did you open something yet? I forgot to ask. Did you open something yet? What did you get? I'm kind of thinking that most of you watch my channel because you're either interested in gardening or cooking or crafting or generally doing it yourself because you're a homesteader or a smallholder. So I'm imagining that you all get presents which are practical and relate to those things. We're practical people, aren't we? We like practical presents. Practical presents can also be beautiful. I mean, what could be more beautiful than a seed? Yay! So this is from Neil and Nathan at Grandad's Allotment. It's more seeds. Oh, brilliant. Oh, fabulous. This is from, this is achocha seeds. So if you remember this year, I grew the achocha. The slugs had a field day with it. I put one more in, it grew brilliantly, but because it was so late, I never got it to the gourding, the fruiting stage. Theirs did, so maybe theirs is more acclimatised, I don't know. And the seeds I had this year, I think I've only got 2 left. So that is fantastic. There looks like, I can see through actually, there looks like a really good amount of seeds in there. So hopefully I can start off way more than I did last year, so that hopefully at least one will survive the slugs. Neil and Nathan, brilliant, thank you. So they're all brilliant, all brilliant. And this one, Kevin Woodley, sir, you're very, very naughty. I love you, thank you. Kevin has sent me a gift voucher, and it's a National Garden Centre gift voucher. Kevin, that's too much, but thank you. I really appreciate it, because actually I buy all my potatoes as seed potatoes and my onions I buy as sets, and that's my 2 most expensive things each year. Most of my seeds I save, or as you see, I've been gifted seeds, I swap seeds. So in terms of buying seeds, there are never too many to buy, but the seed potatoes and the onion sets are always my expense. Plus, you know, compost for the seed starts, that adds up. So Kevin, this, bless, you've broken my heart with that bit. This, I'm not going to cry, this more than covers that. Thank you. Okay, your turn. Open another present. I'm dying to know what you got. And I'm wondering as well if, you know, if you get something big for the garden, like a fork or a rake or a watering can, how has your loved one wrapped it up? Have they tried to disguise it? Or is it just a fork with a bow on the top? What can you do? The Christmas that I was given my watering cans, thank you Graham, they weren't wrapped, they just had big bows on the top. And I'll never forget it, because I'd had back-to-back night shifts. I'd done Christmas Eve night, Christmas Day night and Boxing Day night. 3 of the toughest shifts I've ever done on that ward. I came home on the morning of the 27th. I was absolutely shattered. There was no way I wanted to do Christmas. I just wanted to sleep for a week. Walked through the front door, and there was a tree all decorated with the 2 watering cans underneath it. Oh, so special. And as soon as I saw it, I was like, right, I'm awake, I've got tons of energy. Oh, let's get the champagne open. So yes, how have your gardening gifts been wrapped up? Now this one I started to open and then realised it wasn't wrapped, so I didn't take it out. Is there a note? Oh, it doesn't look like there's a note with it. But I know it must be from one of you guys, because it's addressed to my Vivi's Kitchen Garden P.O. box, which of course my friends and family don't use, they know my address. So I know this is from one of you lovely people. Oh gosh, isn't this gorgeous? Sorry, it must be really annoying. I'm kind of looking down and going, ooh, and you don't know what I'm looking at. It says, I don't know if this is the company, Magic Garden Seeds. And then it says traditional medicinal plants. Ooh, let's get in here now. Can I get in? It's well stocked down. Oh, this is, look how beautifully presented this is. I think it might be in German, I'm not sure. But look, little booklet. Another little booklet. What's that one say? Growing from seed. And then, oops, this is going to fall. Let me hold them. And then this beautiful, beautiful. Look at the seed packets. Aren't they gorgeous? I do love a lovely seed packet. So I've got chamomile, comfrey, sage, milfoil yarrow, and some calendula. Oh, I'm going to look forward to having a read. Oh, look, isn't it? It's beautifully illustrated too. Oh gosh, I love that. Now that's gosh, this itchy nose is doing my head in. Sorry. That is right. It's in German. My German is rubbish, but if I go slowly with a dictionary, maybe this one. This is same booklet in English. Phew. There's no name with it. Whoever you are, thank you so much. You know that that's exactly the kind of thing I love. You know me so well. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Should we have one more? I've got a couple more that I want to open with you guys because they're from you. And then to finish, I do want to open one from my sister because it's been bugging me for the last 2 weeks. It's been in the house. I want to open it. So this is from Bridget, although Bridget's in Hamburg, so I suppose I ought to say, is it Brigitta? Brigitta, is that how I pronounce it? Thank you, Brigitta. Brigitta. I'm so sorry if I'm pronouncing that incorrectly. Lovely paper, which, if I'm careful, I can try to save. Ooh! And the first thing I see is lovely fabric covered with vegetables. Oh, isn't that adorable? Oh my goodness! It's my shed, sort of my shed. Wow, I don't know if you're going to be able to pick up the details in here, but can you see, look, there's my everything is going to be okay sign. There's my bunting. There's my onions. There's one of the cats. Let me see what else. There's the, oh look, oh this is so beautiful. There's the pumpkins. There's my potatoes. You know, I make my own sacks from newspaper. Oh my goodness, this is the most, I know there's my pile of cushions in the shed. That is the most beautifully detailed, well observed. I'm speechless. Have another look at that, guys. That's so gorgeous. So I'm trying to make it so the reflections from the window. I can't get over the attention to detail in that. It's my shed. It's my shed. Now, I don't know whether to hang this at home so that when I'm at home, I'm reminded of my shed, or hang it in my shed because it is my shed. I think I will hang this at home above my desk. So on days when I start getting bogged down with computer stuff, I look at it and think, do you know what? Stuff it. I'm off to the shed. That's so personal and beautiful and amazing. Even down to look at my little window in the back. Did you make that, Brigitta? You must have done. It's so beautiful. And then this piece of fabric. Oh, lovely, lovely, lovely. So, there's a lovely chunk of fabric in that. I'm going to bring it right close so you can see the detail. Yes, I am going to have fun playing with that. Get my creative hat on in the new year. Yeah, I'm going to have a think about it. My ideas, no, my brain's already going with various ideas. I should also say I've already had one of my presents. It was from Helen, but it wasn't very well disguised, Helen, was it? A 15 kilo sack of chicken poo arrived a few days ago for Christmas, but it wasn't wrapped. There was no way you could kind of go, oh, let's pretend we haven't seen it till Christmas. So thank you. a big sack of chicken poo made me so happy. It was so funny because when the guy came to deliver it, I opened the door and saw what it was straight away. I was laughing my head off and kind of going, yay! And the poor man just didn't understand why I was so happy about a bag of poo. So I had to explain to him, it's for my garden. And he was looking up at my building, and I could see he was thinking, you don't have a garden? Are you just some mad nutty woman? Do I need to run away? So I explained about the allotment. It's at times like that I could do with having a business card to say, check me out. Right, this is going to be really noisy for a minute. This lovely bundle of joy. Now, again, hang on a sec. And I can save all the crap. In the outer part, can you hear me, Mother? In the outer part of the parcel, there was no note, so I'm hoping there is one inside it somewhere. Nosy. But yes, I recycle all of this bubble wrap. I try to only use recycled bubble wrap for the business, so that's great. Ooh. Oh, that's so cute. I don't know what's inside it yet, but it says Lady Gardener. Lady Gardener. I don't know if I am a lady, but how do I get in? Oh, that's so lovely. That's so pretty. Oh, look, so it's obviously a mug. It says colourful borders, watering can, time to prune the roses. Maybe I should start gardening in a frock. That would be nice, wouldn't it? Maybe in the summer I will do some sessions in the garden wearing a frock, and then I can pretend to be a lady gardener. Thank you, whoever you are, thank you. That's a nice big mug as well. That's a real kind of, ooh, get your hands around it mug. Yay! Oh, it's all too exciting, isn't it? Cheers. I think I need to blow my nose again, excuse me. Look away for a minute. That's better. Right, now, as I say, the little bits and bobs from my family I might wait to open. But my sister sent me a parcel a couple of weeks ago to, make sure the post arrives in time. And I sort of took the cardboard off, took the things out, and this came out, and it weighs a ton. And I'm pretty sure it's a book. I love books. Well, as you know, I love books. It has been doing my head in. I've kind of, with all the bits and pieces that have been coming for Christmas, I've been hiding them away because I'm terrible for opening things before Christmas. I've done really well this year. So I hid it away, but in my mind I was thinking, what can it be? What can it be? What can it be? I think buying books for me is really hard because I've read everything. Obviously I haven't read everything, but it can be, I'm sure it's pretty tricky. Oh, brilliant! I was mentioning this. Oh, brilliant. I thought by the weight and the size it had to be a reference book. Can you see? It's a Brewers. Brewers do the Phrase and Fable. Oh, this is great. So, for example, you can literally, all these things that are in common parlance, where did that first come from? Why do we use that phrase? So much comes from Shakespeare, obviously. But this is great. This is one of those books where I know that I will dip in to look up one thing and I'll end up hours later just reading. Brilliant. Oh, thank you, sister. Aren't we lucky? I know that I am. I feel thoroughly spoiled by your beautiful, thoughtful gifts. The seeds, my goodness. I've got so many. I've been sent a few through the year as well. So I'm really looking forward. I think probably just into the new year at some point I'm going to have a nice quiet day at home, get all the seeds out that I've got, all my own saved seeds, all the seeds you guys have sent. I'll get my little sketchbook out and start to make a sketch of the garden for next year, and try to find some more space to try some new things. I think I could utilise the deck a bit better, especially in summer. Obviously I need space for my deck chair, that's not moving, but then in the rest of it with some more pots and bits and bobs. And obviously with that voucher from Kevin, I could afford to buy some bags of compost, so if I did have some big pots, I'd have some compost to put in them. So that will be absolutely fantastic. Yeah, I feel absolutely spoilt rotten. And you know, I think I'm a pretty resilient and strong lass, but there are loads of times that I just think, oh, what am I doing? I can't do this. And you know, so many times when I have those little moments of doubt, it's you guys that come through with, and sometimes I think you don't even realise it, just a comment here or there, and I think, yeah, I can do it, I can. So I think this whole video in a way is my way of saying thank you to you all. Thank you. So shortly I will be going off and getting my cooking done, and then I'll be visiting with friends later on, and then tomorrow I think I'm seeing friends as well, yes. And I was just wondering what your sort of traditions are in terms of Boxing Day, because I know that in my family, I used to hate it. Boxing Day was always the go for a walk day. And as a kid, oh God, it drove me nuts. It's so funny now because I love to be outside. I think even then I love to be outside, but just kind of playing and mucking around. But just this pointless blimmin' walk to nowhere to then come back. When you're a kid, all you want to do on Boxing Day is eat all the chocolate you've been given and play with all the toys you've been given. So listen, heads up to any of you who are parents, don't force your kids out on a 10-mile march on Boxing Day. Let them stay indoors and play with the lovely toys you bought them. I think it's one of those things where if I'm walking, I love walking. I walk everywhere. I've never had a car. I've always, you know, gone places under my own steam or with a bit of public transport. If I'm walking to somewhere, yeah, I enjoy it. I'll enjoy the views along the way. Great. I get to where I'm going and I do the thing that I want to do in that place. But to just walk in one great big circle for 4 hours, get back in the car and go home, what's the point? What's the flipping point of the Boxing Day walk? No! And you know what? That's a great thing about being a grown-up, especially when I have Christmas on my own, is I don't have to do any of that nonsense that the grown-ups made me do when I was a kid. Oh, are you listening, mother? So yeah, there'll be no Boxing Day walk for me tomorrow. The rate I'm going, there'll be a Boxing Day hangover. No, I'm kidding. I'm just going to have a couple of glasses of this now, and then I'll have my food, and then I'll be right. But yeah, there'll be no Boxing Day walk for me tomorrow. I suppose now I'm seeing friends, and then I think the following day, I'm trying to give myself a couple of days off this week because it's been a really manic time leading up to Christmas. The last few months have been bonkers. I don't know how they've been so bonkers. But I think I'm going to then give myself a really quiet day on the 27th. I'll probably just pop to the garden, maybe do a bit more harvesting. Or, depending on the weather, I might just sit there. I might just sit and do nothing. Because it's so lovely and peaceful and gorgeous. So, I'm just going to top myself up, excuse me. Anyone like a top up? What's your Christmas tipple? It is nice, isn't it, to have these different bits of food and drink that we don't normally have. I mean, goodness gracious me, I would never normally do this, but chin chin. Anyway, so I think I've been babbling on for long enough, haven't I? I've had my lovely presents from you guys. We've got our hats on. The food is ready to go in the oven. Oh, can't wait. It's that time of year as well, isn't it, for afternoon naps on the sofa. Put a film on the telly, nod off, miss the main part, wake up at the end and go, yeah, okay, didn't matter. So I would love to say to you all, another blow, I'm so sorry about this. This cold has just lingered. For the most part it's gone. And the symptoms aren't bothering me except for a bit of a runny nose and a bit of an occasional cough because I'm a bit, you know, mucousy on my chest. You don't need to know that, especially not on Christmas Day, do you? So, I'm going to finish off for now. I am going to be around for a little while on the old computer to respond and chat with any of you guys. I had really wanted to do a live video this year. That was the plan. And a couple of weeks ago I was setting up to do a practice run. And thank you to the lovely Richard and Paul from Richard and Paul, who are going to be my moderators and who have been advising me and just how to do it. But the technology just isn't working for me. I don't know whether it's my internet speed or the speed of my computer or the speed of my brain, but something's not working. Anyway, so I'm sorry this couldn't be live. That would have been an absolute blast. I would have loved to have done it live with you. But I've tried to make it feel as live as possible, if that makes sense. But I will be online for a little while now, after you've seen this, to respond. Then there's going to be a little gap where I don't respond because I'm out with friends, going off down to our local, and then I'll be back later, so I'll be back online. So please, 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 for those of you who are on your own, you know, just remember it's okay to be on your own. It's okay to feel lonely, so long as you don't feel that too much of the time. And today especially, I really, really don't want you to feel alone. I want to feel like you've come over to Vivi's for the afternoon and we're all just sitting around having a little drink together. I'm going to be doolally before lunch. So, whatever Christmas means to you, however you mark the occasion, whoever you do it with, do it your way. Have the best day that you can have. Know that I'm thinking of you. Know that I'm here for you. And just whoop it up in your own sweet way. For now though, I shall say happy Christmas to all of you. You all feel so dear to me. I will see you before too long. I can't speak. Oh Lord help me. I will see you all before too long. Next time, with slightly less. This alcohol's gone straight to my head. I need to eat one of those meat pies. Listen, I will see you all before too long, I hope. But in the meantime, stay well. And my wish for you all is that your lives are full of joy and peace and kindness and love and positivity and empathy and compassion, all those wonderful, wonderful qualities that I know you all have. Get out there and share those qualities with the world. Happy Christmas, everybody.